Welcome to Worlds, baby! And we are kicking things off in the plains with an LCK versus LPL matchup. This is going to be epic, so strap on in as we deep dive into RNG versus DRX. 18 minutes on the clock and it is Drake time. RNG are trying to kill the Akali on the bottom half of the map, which ends in a bad trade in my opinion, as they burn their engaging Vi ult for an Akali ult which is only there for execution and or escape. On the other side of this matchup, Piosik uses his Maokai ult to cut off the members of RNG who didn't go to try and kill the Akali. And this is sort of a collapse onto them two members, and while the result of his ultimate isn't really utilized for collapsing, it does cause separation for RNG, and this is where I feel RNG make a fatal mistake, or more specifically Jax does, as he goes in way too aggressive for a Tristana, who literally can just press rocket jump and get away from the Jax who has just queued onto her. What's more, he's now pretty much dead. In my personal opinion, I think RNG should cut their losses right here. They were separated from Breathe, and as such, he is essentially dead. He's gone. He has no escape tools, no flash. Bye bye Breathe. Also, the Drake realistically does mean nothing to DRX at this point in the game. Sure, it has a bit of meaning to RNG as it gets them to soul point, but right now, the Drake does not impact this matchup, and you fight to live for another day and keep some semblance of a gold lead. So as we've just said, Jax dies, but he does die without pressing E, which is a bit of a blunder, in my opinion, because he dies to auto attacks from Trist. Now, Counter-Strike does stop auto attacks from hitting you, and I think that would have meant he wouldn't have taken as much damage as he did, which would have given more of a reason for RNG to re-engage. Speaking of re-engages, RNG's re-engage is very confusing to me, and this is important to note their targeting. Now, we've just seen Trist use her rocket jump to get away from the Jax, leaving her only tool of escape as a flash. Well sure, Vi does not have ultimate. She can still go in on the Trist with her Q. You've got an Alistar there as well who could quite easily headbutt pulverize her, meaning you've got two follow-up engages onto the ADC of DRX. Why not use them? Instead, they focus the Aatrox, and the big thing here is Aatrox, big boy. He has sustainability on close range targets with his Qs. He just hits you once, boom, nice bit of chunking healing. 2, that's okay. 3 is where the healing comes through, so going into him makes no sense. I mean, yeah, he's probably just used his Qs to execute off the Jax, but he could have stayed alive with his E's, you know? So, RNG, misplay after misplay after misplay right here. And that is huge in terms of this teamfight outcome. Because now that you've engaged with all your tools, Alistar's a go-in champ and never come out. Same with Vi. So they've gone in, got nothing. You best believe they're dying here. So Triss using her range just keeps bonking down the targets, reset after reset, and I'm just gonna say this, watch the tree, boom, knocking the targets back. They're getting over into DRX, and they are not escaping from this fight. After this, it's just LeBlanc, baby. And while, sure, we see Xiaohu making a trade for his life on the Aatrox, it's still a 4-for-1 in favor of DRX. And that's huge, because it just pivots the tempo into a DRX favored game after RNG have looked pretty good throughout the early game up until this point. you can see my frustration here, and something going into group stages, RNG probably will be heavily punished for, considering the group they're in. Oh boy. But yeah, that's this video done with. I wanted to analyze this fight quite heavily after I chose this matchup before it even happened. So thank you very much for joining me. If you have enjoyed this breakdown, leave a like down below. If you've enjoyed this very frustrated Izl33 breaking down a fight that just has no sense at all, I'll see you. Subscribe, I guess. Thank you, Akita-sen, for the thumbnail, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.